Okay, Dr. Rutherford here, and as we talked about earlier in several of our presentations, is we're diversifying this year. Remember that term. We're going to use it a lot here in the next 10 minutes. And we're diversifying, from presenting a lot of information on Hashimoto's, and we're going to kind of morph out into weight loss, and we're crossing swords with weight loss, and as far as talking a lot about blood sugar. And as I talked about, I think in a previous presentation, blood sugar is massively underappreciated in this country as being a problem. If you don't have diabetes, no worries, we're good. Wow, that leaves about 50 to 60 or 70% of people out there have blood sugar problems. They're screwing up their weight and screwing up their microbiome about today, or research to see what was going on in the microbiome. For those of you who've been in the autoimmune world, or those of you who've been in the mystery disease world, and you've been exposed to GI panels that told you about this particular bacteria and that particular bacteria and this particular bacteria, and you should take something for that, you should take something for this, that model is gone. Although I see a lot of people still coming in here with tests for that. And some people even go, I took what the person told me and I felt better for a little bit. That model is gone. The microbiome is where it's at. The whole enchilada, the whole 3 to 5 pounds of bacteria that's in your gut that is now being considered as another organ system. It's literally being considered as an organ system. What might you have? And here's the thing about the microbiome. Let's start off with, it's not all good bacteria. It's a balance. Okay, it's interesting, but there needs to be a balance in the microbiome of like 80% good bacteria and like 20% bad bacteria. It's interesting because obviously we all think, oh, good, and then you take a probiotic and we blow up. If you're one of those people, you either have like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, meaning you have a lot of bad bacteria, and it's taking those good bacteria from your probiotics and it's turning them rapidly into bad bacteria right in front of your very nose, if you will, because that usually produces a lot of not very pleasant smelling gas. So basically, the microbiome is still in the process of being researched, but you may have heard about it relative to weight loss. Okay, so and in that presentation that I attended, and this was several years ago, they talked about, this was the presentation of, they took feces out of a obese rat and put it into a skinny rat, didn't change anything else, and the rat got big. Okay, and then they took the microbiome feces out of a skinny rat and put it into a heavy rat, and you got it, the heavy rat got skinny. This was the beginning of it all. It goes way beyond that, But they actually have in humans fecal implants, and I'm not sure they find people with the proper microbiome or how they do it, but they take the proper microbiome out of there, they put it in people who are overweight, and they'll lose weight. It's expensive. I think it's like 25 grand. I don't think insurance pays for it and all that type of stuff. But that's not the point. The point is, this is your bacteria. And so they have proven that in that huge mass of bacteria, there are certain bacteria that cause insulin to not work properly and spike insulin, and the next thing you know, you're spiking your blood sugar, and next thing you know, you're getting insulin resistance. The next thing you know, insulin resistance leads to fat gain, and it not only leads to fat gain, but it leads to fat gain that doesn't want to go away. So that's just like one teeny part of the microbiome. In that study, it was insane. There was one study there where there's certain rats that can go through a mole, through a maze like crazy, like no problem. Then the other one's like, and it's like literally that's it, it's done. Okay, same thing. Took the microbiome out of the one who could get through the maze, gave it to the one who couldn't. The one who couldn't, Took theirs, put it in here, boom. You know, which way do I go? Which way do I go? You know, it's like amazing. The doctor was presenting this, went through this for like 3 hours, and went over 25 different examples. The microbiome affects everything. We don't even know all the things it affects yet, but it affects your hormones. It affects your ability to heal your leaky gut. It affects your immune system. It will dampen immune inflammation and autoimmunity if you get your microbiome under control. It's oh my goodness. So it has to do with weight loss. It can it has to do with appetite. It has to do with brain. Oh my God, it has to do with brain function. Well, we just talked about the rats, right? That's brain function, but way more than that. Way more than that as far as anxiety and depression and maybe even dizziness and balance and vertigo if you have certain different types of problems with your cerebellum, which is a part of the brain that works with your ear to create your good balance. I can just go on and on. Okay, so that's the microbiome, kind of in the cliff notes form. Okay, but here's the deal. It's not that to fix it is somewhat straightforward. It's about diversity of fiber, vegetables. Really, it's about diversity of vegetables. The microbiome project. What this research project, told us was they had researched every microbiome of every single country on planet Earth, literally every country. And in many countries, different parts of the country, like the United States is like 5 different countries, right? The North, the South, the West, that type of thing. And then they went and they took the microbiome of like these indigenous crowds, indigenous tribes, okay? And these tribes, some of them were like very, very nomadic. One particular one, and I can't even think of the name of it now, starts with an H, but they ate like 600 vegetables a year because they were nomadic. That's what they did. They got up, they ate this area until they couldn't eat anymore, and then they moved on. They had the best microbiome on planet Earth. Now, how they measure, again, I'm back to how do they measure what's good and bad, I don't exactly know. I just know that they had the best, and the United States of America had the worst. The worst. That's not like an exaggeration. It's like we were like the worst, like 149th or whatever the last place was. So it's about diversity. It's not really even about amount. It's about diversity of vegetables. And they found like you know somewhere between 10 and 20 vegetables a day is what's needed to create the type of a diversity that you saw in those people with the nomadic tribe that was eating like 600 vegetables a year. That may sound crazy, but there's ways to do it, and we've experimented with different ways of having our patients do that. But this has been a game changer for us as far as working with patients. You've heard me talk about what a game changer blood sugar can be, and how many people don't even know they have blood sugar problems, and they think they're fine, and they tell me, oh, I went to the doctor. I want you to say, I went to the doctor. This lady's like 275 pounds, and she's about 5'5". She's got a blood sugar problem. Trust me. It's impossible for her not to have a blood sugar problem. But her numbers were normal, and everything was fine. She certainly had a microbiome problem based on her symptoms, and the microbiome massively affects blood sugar. So this is one of the reasons why, in the hierarchy of things, this is one reason why somebody might be told they have blood sugar problems, be taking the metformin, but it's not working, because this microbiome might be causing all kinds of problems with your insulin, your blood sugar spikes, blood sugar drops, those types of things, and a million other things. This is huge. I would argue that you're never going to get leaky gut healed if your microbiome isn't right. At least that's what I'm kind of seeing right at this point in time. So anyway, microbiome, you can look it up. It's kind of out there now, but it's just not out there. When I talk to people every day, I talk to people every day. So I kind of get a feel for like what's out there, what hasn't gotten into the lexicon yet, and all that type of stuff. I'm not here. No, nobody's coming in here talking about the microbiome. None of my patients are coming in here going. They're coming in here going, I've tried every diet known to man. They're coming here with now lists of like 36 supplements that haven't worked and all this type of stuff. But nobody's coming in here going, I fixed my microbiome and I don't feel any better. That's not happening. I don't hear the term microbiome. So that's kind of why I'm putting it out there. Direct your attention to maybe investigate it a little bit more. And I think you'll find that, and don't be, don't look at it and go, oh, I'm gonna, like I had one, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. I had one like dietitian, clinical nutritionist that I was going to treat until she goes, I'm a dietitian, clinical nutritionist. You think you're gonna fix me by just changing my vegetable diversity? And I was like, no, maybe I'm not. It's like the idea is too simple, and just trust me, this is not a small thing. This is something that will. I don't care who you are. If you look at this, and you don't have to get up to like 10 to 20 vegetables a day. If you just change your diet towards more diversity, you'll see a difference. You'll see that fiber is king. I'll go into that on another day. So microbiome, that's where it's at. You're going to hear about it in the future. You have to hear about it in the future. It is huge in fixing the gut. It's huge in fixing oral tolerance problems. Those of you who have like 96 food sensitivities, it's a big deal. So I would spend some time looking into that a little farther. Okay, that's it for today. All right.